So I did notice a couple things when I was trying this. Firstly, the volume rocker. I had to fiddle around with it a lot to get it to actually work and be pressy. It wasn't anything blocking it inside, I made sure about that. So it's a pretty nice case. It definitely adds some bulk to it, and I'll probably do a pan shot just so you guys can see how thick it is. So this is it open, how thick it gets with the case on. And to remove the case, and I'll try to like speed it up. So they said to remove the case, open this up like this, take the front, well, turn it on the face down like this and remove the mask, and then go at the corner bottom piece right here and like get your finger in there. And it's a pretty big device, so I'm kind of scared. And you see how it just like, it's, you gotta really put your finger into it to get it to pop out. Jeez. Okay, there we go. So, pop that side out, and there we go. Would I recommend you get this? I don't know. I don't like these buttons. It stick way too many times during the process, and it adds way too much bulk. And I don't like these sharp corners on the front of the case that could get hooked on something when you're leaving these corners right here. It's not the best design, but it's not badly designed as well. If you got the money, get it. I don't really see the need for it. It's built by Blackberry, looks nice. It does have a cutout for the mic, so that's pretty awesome. I personally, I may return this case because I don't really like it. I'll probably get like a cheap $2 TPU plastic one just because it's a lot simpler to put on the phone. But as of right now, this is a slider. Not many people are making cases for slider phones, so your best bet might just be go with a Blackberry accessory. And these are really cheaply made, and it's like the cheap kind of had plastic, so but like I said, it's really up to you if you want to spend 50 bucks on it. Ideally, like I said, I might very well return this because I don't like this piece right here, you know, and the sharp edges inside of like these corners, because I know it's gonna cling on my jacket pocket or something. And the one thing I don't like about these cases and slider phones is like once you grab the phone, it automatically springs open. Anyways. One thing that I need to like let you guys know is once you push this up, this slider sort of gets, there's more grip, where it's not as smooth sliding, and when you try to pull it down to close here, you can see this band, like it pulls on it, and it feels as though like it's gonna break off the blade that it slides up on. It definitely does feel a lot more tension and stiffer to just push the device up. It feels nicer just to push it up from here, but to pull it down on this little piece, it feels like this just feels really flimsy. So it definitely adds some thickness, but not too much. And secondly, when you're typing with this open using this keyboard, besides it being a little much more difficult or a little more tension when you're sliding it up, when you're typing with this keyboard, this larger sort of bar, this plastic bar, if you could watch my hand, you see how it like rubs right against it, and it only has like less than like 2.2 millimeters there. If you have nails, it's gonna press on that. I mean, you could probably move your hand down, but like if you're like, you know, like if you're swiping up or you're swiping down to use the keyboard, I could see it being a little, you know, a lot of collisions, and you're hearing that. It's something you should know. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Hey everybody, my name's Mark. Today we had a nice surprise show up at our office, a Blackberry Venice. Looks like an evaluation unit. So us being us, I thought let's take a look. Let's see what this device can do. Let's take a look at the hardware. I know there's a lot of you out there that are kind of interested in having a Blackberry device running Android. So jumping right into it, if we're looking at the device, one thing we noticed right away is it looks to have tap to wake go right into the device. Software, very Androidish. Have our app drawers. And what makes the Venice a neat unit is the slide out keyboard. And just like a Blackberry Passport, it also reads with a biometric sense touch, so you can actually swipe up and down. This would be great if you were looking at websites, reading documents. You could just simply use your fingers to slide up and down and go through your documents. We noticed something else that was kind of neat, and whether or not this stays in the final software, again, I have to stress this is an evaluation unit that made its way into our channel. But as you'll notice, BlackBerry Hub, Google services, and global or universal search on the device. And if it works like other BlackBerry 10 devices, this should allow you to search the web, search for contacts on your device, search documents, almost anything within the device. So I think this is a great improvement, great way to go through and find information. You'll notice on the screen we've got our Google search bar at the top. We have our Google notification bar. So this is just, marvelous. For those of you that are into Android and really like the services, there you go. Spin the device so you can see where some of the controls are. So you've seen the slide out keyboard. And one thing I have to stress is for those of you that were using a torch, where that unit ended or tended to be sort of bottom heavy or top light, and a lot of them would flip out of the hand. I have to say one thing about this: it is very comfortable whether you're using it closed or open. So let me just spin this through. You can see the screen is very slim, nicely housed into the chassis. Very easy to slide up and down, no problems whatsoever. Underneath this packing seal, we've got a camera button. On the opposite side, we have your volume rockers and your convenience key in the center, smart action key. So BlackBerry users would be very akin to how this device is laid out. Across the bottom, we've got our micro USB port. We've got a 3.5 millimeter headset jack. If we scroll across the top, you'll have micro SD. Looks to be, you'll probably use a pin to eject it, and your SIM card tray. I'm assuming this would be a noise canceling microphone, or it could just be a microphone for picking up audio at the top. And across the bottom, well, I don't really see a microphone jack, but the one thing I do see, this huge speaker grill. We haven't been able to test this, but if you take a close look, I mean, that is, assuming that's a full-fledged speaker underneath the housing, I'm assuming that would be quite loud, just like most BlackBerry devices. And obviously earpiece across the top. Not sure if there's anything embedded or hidden into the into those ports as well. And if we scroll over onto the back, the one thing you notice right away is that huge camera bezel. But I hope you like this video. Hopefully it gives you a little bit more information on this device. Truly hoping that we get this into the Canadian market. Again, this is an evaluation unit. We were lucky enough just to get our hands on it, and it's going to be going back on its way to where it's supposed to be. So for those of you looking for this device, keep your fingers crossed, and hopefully it'll come to your channel soon.
You're looking at what is considered probably the biggest comeback, I want to say, in mobile history. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to say, TK, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now. The shit just came out. It's not selling that good. Well, in my experience and all the places that I've been to look for this phone on the AT&T network with the logo there, their asses have sold out. Now, granted, they only had 2 or 3 units per store, but it's probably the best BlackBerry launch since, like, what, 2006, 2007? When the Storm 2 came out, maybe, and that was only limited to Verizon Wireless. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. So, look, man, it's been a little bit more than 3 days. I think this is day 4. And I usually do a 1 day, I do a 3 day, I'll do a week, and then I'll give you guys my full thoughts and impressions. I'm not the guy that unboxes a damn phone and 48 hours later gives you a full review, because that's bullshit. I like to use a phone for a considerable amount of time before I talk to you guys about a device. So getting into this one today, let's talk about this BlackBerry. The keyboard. Probably one of the best features, easily in my opinion, one of the coolest things about it is the touch keyboard. You know, having the ability to swipe over and see your notes. You can see I got LG video, I got a demo I got to do for an app company for a business here in a little bit. I got to do some live streaming later, and I like that I can swipe over, see my calendar, and see things that I need to do. I can get to the hub whenever I want with the simple click of a button. And you can see that here. I get all my YouTube notifications and things of that nature. I really, really, really like the new BlackBerry. Being able to have a lot of the BB10 features. Is this BlackBerry OS 10 or BB10? No, it's not. Is it probably the best combination of BB10 with Android? Yes, it is. If you like a Nexus device, if you like stock Android, but you wanted that BlackBerry app suite, and if you use a full keyboard, if you like the, I'm going to be honest, I don't do a lot of typing on this keyboard. 90% of the typing that I do, and I'll show you exactly, we'll go into the Twitter. 90% of the typing that I do on this phone is strictly through this keyboard right here, and I love the fact that I can swipe up. Now, what I do like about it is the ability, now I did a video where you can actually install the BlackBerry keyboard pretty much on any Android if you want, and I'm using it right now on the V10 and on the Note 5. To be honest though, it's cool when, like, and I'm not advocating texting and driving, let me be clear, but you know, if I'm out and about, I need to do a quick thing real quick, I can pop this open. I know where the keys are. It's familiar. I can tap this out a couple of words without having to look at my damn phone. I like that. It's like a miniature passport keyboard. It'd be the best way for me to say it. It's very easy to use. It is a lot smaller. If you're coming from a BlackBerry Passport, you're probably going to be like, that's kind of small. But once you use it for a little bit, you get used to it. Lag. People have been asking me, does it have any lag? Does it have any stutter? In my experience, now everybody's is different. In my experience, I haven't had that because I know how to use an Android phone. I let the kernel sit. That means when I booted it up, I didn't fuck around with the phone. I let the phone sit for the first 10 or 15 minutes to make sure all of the software got set and it was ready to work. If you don't know about that, maybe you should factory reset and do that if you're having that issues. People also said, oh, it's really hot. Well, it's almost freezing here. It's in the 40s, 40 degrees up here in the upper Midwest, aka in the Indiana area, Indianapolis area. And I can tell you for certain that this thing doesn't get hot. Now, it could be because it's 40-something degrees, so take that with a grain of salt. Does it affect the performance? I haven't seen it. It's been great. What else did I'm trying to answer all the questions that you guys asked. You have different hotkeys and other stuff you can do by holding different keys. That was cool. I like that. You can see, yeah, press and hold the shortcut. That was cool. You can assign keys to do different things. The camera. Let's get into the camera. The camera on this thing is absolutely awesome. Now, here's the thing. You don't want to disable HDR mode. I've had lots of people ask, well, should I disable HDR mode? No, you shouldn't. But look at this thing. I mean, the ability to do different stuff, to adjust the brightness and stuff right from the main screen, not having to get into any crazy settings, is great. It's also great during video and things of that nature. Like if it's pitch black out, you can still get some detail. Yes, it will be grainy because the camera's working with virtually no light. But the fact that you can get any detail at all is pretty amazing. Battery life. Well, here's a news flash. It's 2 p.m. here Central Time, and it's at 92%, and I've been rocking this thing on out since about 8 o'clock this morning. Battery life has got better every single time I've charged it. I've run it from, and so you know, I let my phones get down to about 10%, and then I charge them up. I never let them get all the way to 0. It's been great. It's got Quick Charge 2.0. I've plugged in the Motorola Pure, Moto X Pure 2015 charger, and this the 25-watt charger. It charges this thing super fast, and it's been great. I'm trying to read through all the questions you guys asked. Front-facing speaker, it's good. It only covers this little portion right here where my thumb is at the moment. Sounds good. It's a good mono speaker. It makes common sense. Every OEM, there's no excuse why they don't have front-facing speakers. And it's funny when BlackBerry does it, but Samsung doesn't. Here's what it is. Curved display. Yes, unlike the S6 Edge or S6 Edge Plus, this thing actually has a little bit more functionality, being that you can slide this wherever you want. And there's going to be more things that will be put on there. Now, Samsung could add more features to theirs. It is what it is. But in my opinion, I like it. What about the display? Does it have ghosting? Because they said it's plastic OLED. That's what the LG G Flex used. And they wonder if it has ghosting. No. There's no like burn-in images or any of that crap that we saw from the original G Flex. I don't experience that at all. How fast is the camera? It depends. If you're in HDR mode, it does take a second to take a shot, but let's go ahead and take one real quick so you can see. It focuses pretty quick. You see I got the flash on, and it takes a pretty decent picture. Let's go ahead and zoom in and see how much noise or whatnot we get. And you see we don't. We can even see the grains of dirt on the ground from where I took that shot. That's insane. The camera on the Blackberry is, in my opinion, the best camera that Blackberry has ever put out on a phone. Period. End of story. The video camera on this is good in 1080p 60 frames per second and 1080p 30 frames per second. But in my experience, the 4K camera struggles heavily with focus. It could be a software thing that Blackberry fixes. So, do I recommend you buy it? If you're an Android person, if you're an iPhone person, if you've had Blackberries before, there is a learning curve, but you will get used to it and you will love this phone. If you are looking for a premium experience, and what I mean by premium experience, I mean you want something that's secure, you want something that people aren't going to hack into, things of that nature, get this Blackberry. It runs Android now. I'm going to be honest with you, it is Android. I don't care what Blackberry says. I'm sure at some point someone's either going to try to root this thing or get past whatever the security that's in it. You can best believe some of the best hackers in the world are fucking with this phone right now because they want to see. But I can tell you, I can already tell you right now, I know for a fact that the U.S. government's already going to place they're placing their order on some of these right now. Why? Because they're still using 9900s from like 4 years ago. But is it the best Blackberry that's ever come out? I'm willing to say yeah. I'm willing to say yes. Is this the future for them? It all depends on sales. If this thing sells like gangbusters and your average Android user goes and buys this thing, then yes, Blackberry has made an official comeback. Now, somebody's going to say, well, what about the reviews? I saw the reviews over here and over there where they said this phone is trash. Look, man, look at your source. I guarantee you, they're either Apple fanboys or they just don't like Blackberry. And in my opinion, look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But when you come out with like a totally biased, you didn't even give a product a chance, I don't give a fuck who makes it. You can go eat a dick as far as I'm concerned, because it's ridiculous, man. Like some of these people did reviews on this phone and they had the phone for 48 hours. How the fuck are you going to do a review on a phone in 48 hours? And I know people are going to be like, this review is great. Now you just started dropping language. I'm just being honest with you. You cannot review a phone in 48 hours. You have to use it for a week. You have to check it out. You need to use retail software before you can go out there and jump out there and tell consumers that a phone sucks. That's just me being honest. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm not ready to give my full review yet. I'm not going to tell you this is a phone that you should definitely buy yet. If I'm making that decision now, if you want to go get it while you can get it. I don't know what's going to happen once AT&T sells all these and all their units. You'll probably see these going for stupid prices on eBay, a la the Nexus 6P. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I love the phone. It's in the top of my rotation right now. I'm currently using this, a Note 5, and the LG V10. These are the top 3 phones in my rotation at the moment. And the Blackberry's #1 for a couple of reasons. The hub.